guys, it's Usernamekate and welcome back to my channel. Today I am at Donington Park for California Superbike School Level 2. Now if you follow my channel you'll see that last year I did Level 1, so if you haven't watched that, go back and check it out, but this is Level 2. So if you want to know what this entails, keep watching and I'll roll the intro. So Level 2 of the California Superbike School is all about the visual aspect of riding on track, about how you use your eyes to be more flowy, consistent, smooth, and just generally process information a lot better. So on session 1, we're about to focus specifically on reference points, where to find them, how individual they are, finding what works for you, and also doing something quite interesting on the sighting laps, where on the first one we stick only to the left hand side of the track, and then on the second lap we stick only to the right hand side, so that we can get a different perspective of where we would normally be on track, and we can get an idea of how wide it is and all sorts. So that should be fun. So I'll go out and I'll get that done now. For those of you that haven't watched my Level 1 vlog, these days are really structured and really well laid out. For the start, you have a 20-minute classroom session where you learn the theory that you're about to apply on track. Now, I can't record in the classroom because that's almost like KFC giving away their secret herbs and spices recipe. Then after the classroom, you have approximately 20 minutes on track, where you're out there with your coach. The coach is watching what you're doing, observing how you ride, and then after the track session is complete, you go to the garages, you find your coach, you get a debrief, and then it will set you up for the next sessions where you can try and put into play some of the advice that the coaches have fed back to you. Now that's out the way, let's get back on track, literally. So this is where I met Glenn. Glenn was my coach for the day. He came and introduced himself right before the first session of reference points, so it was nice to meet him here and consequently follow him for the rest of the day, or have him follow me and vice versa. So I'd been riding around trying to use reference points and suss out what works for me. Glenn was behind me observing and then overtook me, where he would suggest reference points for me to try. Glenn, if you ever fall on hard times for whatever reason and need a new job, with those moves, I'm pretty sure cabin crew would snap you up. Okay guys, so I've just got in from the first session, which was reference points. It's very interesting to go out there and try and find a reference point, give it a go, and then go out there and try and find a different one and see if that works better for you. It's all about trial and error and riding to like 75% of your ability. You want to be riding in a manner that you can actually focus on what you're trying to learn, as opposed to just concentrating on not crashing because you're going fast for your abilities. So that's the aim. So we've done that. That was quite insightful. The sighting laps are very interesting. I've never had a reason to be on certain parts of the track before like that, so that was very unusual, but kind of cool to be able to do that. And now for the second session, it follows on from Level 1. So with Level 1 you had 2-step vision, now we have 3-step vision. So it's all about, looking at where you need to turn in, then when you're at the apex, looking at coming out to the exit. And it's all about the sort of science of, how you use your eyes, what you're thinking, where you need to be looking and all that jazz. So we're going to go out, practice 3 steps. Sorry, it's so loud here at Donington. And yeah, that should be really fun. So that is what I'll be doing next. 3-step process.
Alrighty, 3-step vision. It is basically as it sounds. We're out there and we're focusing on 3 stages of where we're supposed to be looking: entry, apex and exit. Now everything differs on every single bend because they're all different, so this session is just about focusing on where you're supposed to be looking on each corner. Now again, in the classroom we've had tips and tricks to kind of help us do this in the best way possible, and this is just a chance to go out there and apply it and hopefully see results in your riding. Glenn the glider coming through, oh my days, I can only wish to look that cool. Listen, when I do level 3, which focuses on body position, if I can look like that, I'll be leaving a happy lady. We spend quite a lot of time swapping positions on track. Sometimes I'm in front so that he can observe, and then he will go in front and show me the way like the young Padawan I am. And by doing this frequently, it just allows Glenn to brief me as best he can, or should I say debrief me, when we get some feedback at the end of the session.
Stop, get on, please! Get through!
Okay, 2 seconds. Sorry. Right guys, they've just shouted us, yellow group, so I have to be quick with this little piece to camera. But the third session is wide view, so it's all about just using the I know, I'm sorry, I'll be quick. So it's just about using the whole of what is available to you with your vision, using your peripherals, try not to get tunnel vision. And in the classroom they give you some tips and tricks of how to apply that and get better at managing that wider view. So they're shouting, they're getting pretty angry, so I better get ready and get on track. See you on the next one.
This session really helps you to lose that sense of claustrophobia that you can sometimes feel by focusing directly on what's in front of your nose. This session allows you to learn methods that help slow everything down, even when riding fast. What I really appreciated about this session is it's something that you can also apply to road riding as well. So this session is quite congested, as you can see, but it's almost a perfect time to put into practice what you're supposed to be learning, because this is wide view. So we're just trying to focus on the bigger picture here, which should help in picking these off. Now, you're sharing a track with a lot of people that have paid to be there, and it's as much their day as it is yours. So I think one of the main things that you have to be on days like this is respectful. It's not a race, we're not rubbing bars, we're all just there to learn, grow and have a good old time. The track is humongous, and waiting a few seconds before passing so that you're passing in a respectful place isn't too much of an ask, and I really like the fact that these days kind of attract a clientele that are so focused on learning and bettering themselves, and a lot of them don't let ego take over, which is great. Emergency exits can be found in the middle of the aisle. He's just getting his practice in, I respect that. But no, on a serious note, Glenn is just using some arm signals that are discussed prior, so you know exactly what they mean and what you're looking for. And it's all used as part of active teaching on the track.
Okay, so we've just done wide view. Now we're gonna go out and do wide view transition, which is basically the same as wide view, but just a bit more fluid with it and looking further ahead and connecting all the dots a bit further than you might have in wide view. Now, to be quite honest, I was just doing that on the last session, or at least I thought I was. So it's just going to be a little bit more of the same. And then the final session of the day will be trail breaking. So I'm intrigued to learn more about that because I feel like that is something that I don't really know much about. And Baron von Grumble at Silverstone gave me a little bit of an example and a taste of what it entails. But I'm always excited to learn and hear more about stuff that can make me better and faster on track. So, wide view transition, bring it on, we'll give it a go. But I'm definitely feeling smoother, faster, more controlled. I'm not riding like scary levels of my capability, but I'm still feeling pretty competent, which is a nice feeling as well. Just trying to build the confidence back after sending the RR to the moon at Almeria. So yeah, it's great for building my confidence and bring on wide view transition.
What's nice is before you go out on track, somebody is there to ask you what you're supposed to be doing, so it is fresh in your mind as you go out. Here, Jane's asking me what module we're on, so I tell her wide view transition. She also asks me how many gears I'm allowed to use for this session and how much brake I can apply, which is detailed in the classroom sessions. They check you're all zipped up and ready to go, and then they let you loose. As mentioned, wide view transitions is quite similar to wide view, but with a whole emphasis that you're looking further in front of you, and it just allows you to join the dots more seamlessly. If you can see really far ahead where you're supposed to be going, it just gives you that extra time to think about where you need to be, and it just helps you be more flowy and more efficient on track. So I really enjoyed this session. I enjoyed wide view, I enjoyed wide view transitions a lot, and I really felt like focusing on these two elements of the teachings made me feel more in control, more flowing, more focused, and I was going a lot faster than I was at the beginning of the day because I felt like I could, but I also didn't feel like everything was getting out of control. When I go on a track day and feel like I'm going fast and flowing rather than fast and out of control and thinking, oh my lord, I feel like I'm going to crash any second. So the final session of the day was trail breaking. We had a classroom session to discuss what it is and how to do it, and it was time to get on track and give it a go. So since this is the final session of the day, I'm going to give you guys more track footage here. So in the first instance, you'll see me behind Glenn. I follow him for a bit, then he waves me past and gives me a few laps in front. Now, as well as working on my trail braking, this is kind of the session, the end of the day, where everything comes together. It's a boiling point of everything that you've learned throughout the whole day, and you just get to apply it and hopefully end the day on a high, and that is exactly what I intended to do with this final session. So I'll shut up talking and you can watch how the session goes.
Well guys, that is the 5th and final session over at my level 2 experience at California Superbike School. It has been so good. That last session I felt like I was on a flyer. I felt like my confidence has improved so much. I was getting some good overtakes in, doing some good speed, and I felt so confident. So with the level 1, which I did last year, there was a light bulb moment for me, and it was during the quick turn session. I feel like that's when that day kind of came together for me and I learnt the most. Today it was the wide view combined with the wide view transition as well, and I feel like I was able to connect the dots, which sounds a bit silly, but normally my eyesight is from the entry into the apex, then I'm like looking at the exit and I'm trying to figure everything out. But now I was able to look at everything as one and as a whole and just find it so much more flowy and consequently faster for me. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my day, and every single time the red flag came out, which they bring out alongside the checkered flag, I was sad because I actually didn't want to come in, and sometimes I'm like, I'm glad that checkered flag's out because I need to come in, it's getting leery and scary. But I was smooth, I was flowy, I felt fast for me, and yeah, I didn't want the sessions to end. So massive thank you to California Superbike School for having my ass along to level 2, and hopefully, just hopefully, I'll be back for level 3, which is all about body position, because that is what I need to work on. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. And until the next time guys, take care and ride safe. Bye.